I'm not checking on myself. What's going on?
That's,
And
yep, it's
last time
easy
my
to
husband,
forget.
yeah, he says, here, you need your tablet. And I says,
Mhm.
why I need my tablet? Frequency. I was like, oh my God, Papa, oh my Jesus. He's just like, you have your machine, you're not using it. Like, I know, I'm just tired. I'm just tired.
Oh, that's really wonderful. It's just such a delight always to have you and talk with you. And
Gracias,
you were wonderful on the podcast when we interviewed you. You're just absolutely such a wonderful asset to our genius community.
gracias.
I'm so glad that you jumped in, and Mary may be joining us as well. So it could be all three of us. That's absolutely fine. Not a big deal. And okay, so we've got volunteers here. Why don't we go with Madeline or Madeline? I'm going to invite you up here to talk with us, and everybody get your genius ready. So get your genius ready to roll. And Mary, if you want to join us, you're absolutely welcome to as well. It can be a whole a wonderful panel here of different people. So Mary, and then if your power goes out, then we know that your power went out. So we have some backup with Adina, which is great. So Madeline, when you're ready, you can also make sure that do you know how to join us? So let's try that one more time. Hello, my goodness, I didn't even think you'd be able to join us.
Oh no, it got pretty bad, but I was like, I'm joining. So
you just made that decision. I'm joining.
I have it on my hotspot just in case the internet goes down.
That is, oh, you have your hotspot ready. That's pretty good. And now, Mary, do you know Adina?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
I'm blessed. And yourself?
Very blessed.
Oh,
I think that you two are very similar in your excellent talent as a genius practitioner and your wonderful abilities to help people. So that's great to have both of you here. Very wonderful group of healers that are gathered here. So we're just getting Madeline's information all set up here. And Madeline, how are you?
I'm in the middle of moving. I'm looking for some sunshine, but I'm dealing with day-to-day pressures like everybody else. And thank you for having me.
Before we let me just get your information up here. First of all, it's interesting that you are getting ready to move, because yesterday at the Affirmational Magic introductory class, one of our volunteers is also in transition. I wonder if this is something that's up for a lot of people right now.
Maybe that's what's happening in Canada.
Yeah, she was in Canada. Where are you? Are you in Canada?
Yeah, I'm on Vancouver Island, just the island off of Seattle. And
oh, I know where that is. That's a beautiful place. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Be nice if we ever see the sun.
What, the sun?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that in Portland too. Remember, all the rain makes everything green. I'll never forget. I got so tired of Portland and all the rain. I moved to Tucson, Arizona for a couple of years. And it wasn't more than a few months into the sunny weather that I couldn't wait for it to start raining again. Just somehow, when you live in a rainy place, just really get used to that precipitation. And I really missed it. That's why I ended up back in Portland. That being said, my dear, tell us what is going on. And we're all going to work together. So if you're joining us, please get your genius ready. Set it up and put in, oh, we didn't put in Madeline's information. So let's go ahead and we'll just put her initial here. Now we've sort of shown it here, but okay. So everybody go ahead and put Madeline's information into your genius so that you can get started. Now, 1124, that seems like a Sagittarius. So that you're probably a freewheeling, easygoing kind of person, huh?
Yeah, I was till the planet smacked me in the head a month ago. But yes,
okay.
I'm innovative that way.
Okay. So now, okay, so everybody, hopefully you've put in the name, the date of birth. It's also in the chat. Now, bring your genius to the place where we're going to record the voice so that we can all record Madeline's voice together. And yes, it's taken me about 5 weeks of the Miracles Hour to finally slow down and invite you to join us and do this with us. So make sure you're at your Genius. You've entered her information. And Madeline, you're going to have the pleasure of having like 21 people or so all sending you frequencies at the same time. Are you okay with that?
Go for it, baby girl.
Okay. All right. Now, tell us what we're going to work on for you. What are you hoping for? What kind of transformation, what positive change would you like to experience?
One main factor is about a month ago, I lost my child to a fentanyl overdose.
Oh my goodness. Oh my heart. Oh my gosh.
But my left lung, lower lobe, crackles all the time. So I can't see. I've been working on it since I had the Genius, but it doesn't seem to be shifting anything.
Okay, now obviously big connection, grief and lungs, and we're all sending you just an outpouring of love and compassion and lots of positive energy. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
And I know Mary in particular has a big history of addiction that she's talked about and shared with us in her family. So, you know, you have someone who really gets it, you know, joining us here today.
Yes, Madeline, please feel free to call me. I know I did your demo for you, and I would be more than happy to talk to you.
Thank you, sweetie. Just between packing and getting out of here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Madeline, so tell us a little bit about the lung situation. How long has that existed? When did it start? And just a little bit more about the crackling. Was it from a bronchitis? When did that kind of thing? Tell us a little bit about the details.
I tended to get pneumonia every year. I don't use doctors, but I think it stems from post-war England when we only had one room with a little bit of heating, and mum and dad smoked in that room. And I think it just went on from there. You know, we were prisoners as kids with the secondhand smoke, and then gas central heating in England. I could always smell the heat. So I've always had an innate problem with my lungs.
My goodness. I mean, your lungs have done pretty well, all things considered. That's a lot of challenges. Secondhand smoke, whatever was coming out of the gas heating and so forth. So there was a weakening of the lungs. And then because of this overall weakening, then over the years, you sort of, if you get a little infection, it sort of develops into a deeper infection.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's record your voice, and everybody get ready. We're going to record Madeline's voice in order to work on her together. So I will start recording, and everybody get ready. I'll start recording Madeline's voice in 3. Oh, are you ready, Madeline?
I am.
Okay, I'll start recording your voice in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Madeline, A-E-I-O-U, 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 Madeline, A-E-I-O-U, A. Canadian, whatever.
Oh yeah, you did great. You're fantastic. Canadians, they don't say Z. What do they say instead of Z?
Yeah, Zed.
They say Z, right? It's funny, these little holdovers from the English language and so forth. Okay, now if you're there at home and you're watching, get the camera part ready to take the picture, and then let's see if we can figure this out together. If we do this, okay, that's fabulous. So we have her. Wonderful. So I'm going to be taking her picture. You may need to take a picture of my picture. You can let me know in the comments if that's actually what you need to do. So let's get a quick smile for you. Okay, we actually caught the smile there. I love it. And so now I'm going to keep that on there. So if you need to take a picture of this picture, I don't know why the camera does that little double pop, but it's not anything consequential. And fantastic. So go ahead and take a picture of that picture on the screen, just like Adina's doing. We'll just give a couple more minutes here for you to take the picture. And thank you everyone who's joining us. We're also live streaming to YouTube. We're here every week. And if you know someone who needs healing, needs frequencies, I'm so glad that we're blessed to send the frequencies to Madeline today. Have them join us on Thursday. We do it live in real time, just because when we've tried to do it in advance, people, they can't show up, something happens. So arrive here ready to volunteer and ready to go for it. And we will work on you. And we'd love to work on people who are really needing some frequencies. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit begin analysis. And then we're going to move on to the energetic entrainment. So as we do, Madeline, is there a word that you would like to have play in the background during your session today? It could be joy, love, abundance, relaxation.
Peace.
Peace is a wonderful one.
Yeah.
So we're going to type in the word peace. And then we're going to tap begin analysis and we're off to the races. So right at the get-go, for lung issues, Adina, do you have any thoughts, ideas, and just in general impressions about the case?
Sometimes we hold so many things
Mhm.
and we have a past, okay? And sometimes we don't know how to let go. We don't know how to express it. And our lungs is holding, is tying everything. And then right now in this situation, you are more tight. You're like, it's like if you have somebody's hugging your lungs and it's like cracking them, like making push. And then we need to find a possibility to help you free, express. If you have to cry, you have to yell, if you have to let go what is holding, and all those, we say traumas or stuff from the past. Sometimes if we cannot express it to the person, you can, and Ho'oponopono, this is my, how I do it. I know. It's like, I call the name of the person here.
Let's go through that process. Why don't you go through that process for Madeline right now and teach our community here a little bit about Ho'oponopono.
Yeah, and what I do, I say their name, and I express myself with passion. I think so. That's because I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm so passionate of what I do. I call their name and I let them know I'm sorry. Please.
So tell us a little bit about, Adina, this is wonderful and I absolutely love it. And I think you're so in touch with what is needed at the moment. Tell us a little bit about the theory behind this wonderful Hawaiian indigenous practice of Ho'oponopono.
I'm so sorry. I'm on my office and
that's okay.
The phone never ring and I was ringing.
Of course it does. It only rings when you're busy.
For what I understand, okay, and for what I get, this is like a direct communication that you can have with the person. When we send frequency and we have an intention, okay, we can, sometimes we don't have the opportunity to talk and express in person. But when we got that opportunity, that is like an open, the universe open, and no matter where that person here is, here or somewhere there or already passed, that help us clear what is holding us. And
that's beautiful.
What, in my case, what I believe is like when I'm apologize to that person from my heart, when I say, please, I am sorry, and I say, please forgive me, I forgive you. You see, I mentioned both. In my case, it's been working drastically, same with my customers, because I let them know if it's something that you're holding, you get grudge, you get angry, whatever is the situation, if you express it and you says, I forgive you, but please forgive me. Thank you. You can say, I love you, I appreciate you. You can say something. Some people cannot say, I love you to a person for whatever situation, but little by little, every time that person comes to you, to your mind, always go and do it. I even sing these words. And I
Well,
have also, I'm sorry.
That's awesome. I just want to, I love what you're saying. And I just want to add in the a premise behind it is that we all are connected. There's not one part, there's not one person that's not interconnected with everyone else. We all share something. And that's what, quantum entanglement is all about. And we're all living together, sort of separate, but ultimately go back to our unity consciousness. And by the virtue of that, when someone is suffering, angry, in pain, and we observe it, there's a small spark of us that's also existing within us. And so we partake of that by saying, I'm so sorry for somehow not knowing, but contributing to this particular condition. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And there's a profound change that happens within the person who is doing the Ho'oponopono. And also there can be a profound change for the person receiving it. Adina, is that your understanding of the process?
Yes. Yes.
I have been using that exactly in my affirmations when I've been treating myself.
Oh, wow. What a synchronicity.
Yeah, I got it from you guys. So from somebody.
Oh, absolutely. No, that's wonderful. So just a few other things, and then we're going to go to Mary and get her impression. Now, this time I'm really getting things together for this Miracles. I've brought with us today for the Miracles Hour, You Can Heal Your Body, Louise Hay. And know when I'm reading this, not all of it has to be true. And also there's probably matching pictures. Probably everybody on here has something related to this. But she says lungs, and then she also does pneumonia. And we know you don't have pneumonia at this minute, but she says the lung issue is about the ability to take in life, which is interesting, like breathing in life. It can be related to depression, grief, fear of taking in life, not feeling worthy of living life fully. The affirmation related to lung is, I take life in perfect balance. And then the second one is, I have the capacity to take in the fullness of life. I lovingly live life to its fullest. Because that's interesting, because that really involves like sort of inspiration, like inhaling all the air that you can take into your lungs, because you're ready to live life. You're ready to live life at its fullest experience. And at the time when you have pneumonia, what Louise Hay says here is desperate, tired of life, emotional wounds that have not been able to heal in some way being expressed. I freely take in divine ideas that are filled with the breath and the intelligence of life. This is now a new moment, is the affirmation. Madeline, does any of that resonate?
Yes, and I do have Louise's book, the same one. So yeah, I had an amazing panel from Jane W, and it was for the lungs, and it brings up that I do have pneumonia.
It was resonating, that pneumonia was resonating at that time.
Yeah.
What we're seeing on the respiratory anatomy, and big blessings to Jane, she has serious lung issues and has actually been in the hospital. So if anybody, I don't know if she's on here today, Jane Warkenshian, I don't see her on here, but just think a thought, even if you don't know her, just to send her some energy that she gets better quickly. So what we're seeing in the respiratory anatomy, the cricoid cartilage is right around here. It might be stuck, or fascia there might be adhesion or something. And then the alveolar ducts are how we breathe, the actual point of receiving oxygen and letting go of carbon dioxide. And then it's interesting, all the bronchi, which is, it's lungs, and then there are lobes, and then it's just like a tree. They branch into smaller and smaller pieces. And I believe it's lobes, and then we get to the bronchi. And then they branch into branches. And so all the bronchi are actually not maximally energized. So we want to send them energy, and then the larynx as well. So there may be something around their tightness or so forth. So we add those to the tray. This is from respiratory anatomy. So anytime you work on an issue, it's always good to go to the anatomy, because you want to send the energy to the anatomy, whether it might be the thyroid anatomy or the liver anatomy, and you're sending energy to those places because that's the fundamental place where all of this is taking place. And we also have one called, and we're going to get to Mary in just a second here, Lung Boost and Upgrade, which is here. And so lungs, it has a right frequency, improve the immune system, clear infections, stabilize the immune system, clear and upgrade the lungs more efficient and blood better oxygenated, needs to be corrected. A general tonic for the lungs at 307 hertz, and then some other things improving lung capacity. Now, do you ever do any yogic breathing?
I've been a little off lately. I've been trying to do some deep breathing, but no, I've not been.
You're quite busy. And is it clear where you're going to next, or do you know where you're moving to?
Yeah, I'm moving to into a fifth wheel, which will be difficult. But I am looking to build a geodome house.
Wow, that's exciting.
They're amazing. Yeah. So
I'm asking because scleranthus came up as a flower essence for you, and scleranthus is usually like going back and forth, not being able to choose between two different things that you're deliberating about.
I'm a bit unnerved about it, but I have two little grandchildren up there and my daughter, so I feel the need now for not being. I'm 76 this year, and I'm just feeling a little dodgy in life.
Yeah. So you're ready for a new change. Well, that's exciting to get out on the open road, and you're just about ready to have a new adventure.
Yes.
I mean, it is sort of like the Benjamin Button thing. I mean, why shouldn't, as we age and have so much wisdom and experience under our belt, like, why shouldn't life just be like the next adventure, the next thing, the next opening, really at any age, right? So you're just as, excited as when you're in your 20s or 30s, the open road, new adventure, something new to learn. So I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Oh, one other thing I should mention, that for the last 4 years, I also adopted and raised my grandson who's 20.
Oh my goodness.
OCD, but multiple suicide attempts.
Wow. That's something that you have to constantly sort of visit with.
Yes.
This idea of sort of death and regeneration, and very, very interesting that Spirit has given you this challenge. You must have a deep level of compassion and ability to empathize and understand people.
I guess as the parent of the daughter that was addicted to heroin, yeah, it's your blood. You don't really have any choice but to put your life ahead, or put your life aside and take these children in.
Well, I mean, you did have a choice, but you chose to participate. Mary, let's go to you. What is your intuitive impression of the case so far?
I went to a few different libraries. Emotion Code, the lungs is one that I went to, the lung.
Okay.
And you have crying, sadness, and stubbornness. And I got the sadness, sorrow, and discouragement.
Very similar.
Yes. And, my heart goes out to her because I know what it's like. So it is very difficult to deal with that. And it's, my insight to that is not only the childhood stuff with the lineage of addiction in the family. We know that it goes back ancestrally. So she has some stuff within those lungs to begin with coming into life. And now with her son and her daughter and her grandson, it's just compounding the lung issues.
Interesting. So what is your suggestion or recommendation?
There's a few. I made a few notes for her, going back, one, doing some inner child work for herself, because when you can do that and you can take care of your own inner child, it makes you that adult that can then turn around and help those children. Does that make sense?
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And cellular freedom and ancestral panels would be, those libraries would be, I think, extraordinary in helping her. I have used the cellular freedom and the ancestral within my family and myself for all that I've gone
Okay, well, we're going to look at those then in just a moment. That's a great idea. I love it. You know, did you notice, we're going to come back to this, but did you notice the
Yes.
the beginning aura was so stunning. Did you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, the first thing I thought of was the healing, the, you know, like you talk about running the genius, just the consciousness of knowing it's going to be run for you.
Sure.
The healing already starts.
That's very cool.
With
That's
all
lovely.
these people sending out their heart to her, that makes total sense to me. That
Yeah, it does.
whole green,
Yeah, it does.
surrounded by 28 of us now participating and sending all that love to her and that healing to her. So I was not surprised by that at all.
That's beautiful. I'm receiving it. Thank you.
Yes.
You know, one thing that was amazing that we studied in naturopathic college, and I think this would be a really good course for us to have, is constitutional hydrotherapy. And during the time when your lungs are affected, but even after, you could actually apply constitutional hydrotherapy, which is just these short, small towels that are applied to the lungs, 3 minutes with really the hottest, you know, water that you can withstand, wrung out really well, and then another towel on top. And you allow all the blood flow to open up and come to the surface. And then you get a very, very cold towel that's been soaked with ice water, wring it out. And after the 3 minutes of hot application to the lungs, both to the front and then to the back, you apply this cold towel. And of course, you get all bundled up. And when you do apply the cold, all the blood goes deep within the lungs. It's quite amazing. It really moves the blood, removes stagnation. And in the actual offices where we had active medical constitutional hydrotherapy, you could come in with the pneumonia and get what's called cold mitten friction. And they would do these, get you all bundled up, but they would do a cold rub of the cold mittens right on your lungs, and it would start to clear out all of the stuck phlegm and things in your lungs. So water has an amazing capacity to change the energetics, and something that we can send to you and you can actually do on your own or with a good friend.
Can I just mention something, that this crackling nearly always happens after I have eaten something?
Interesting. Well, that is actually a very, you know, one of the best healers I learned from let me know that, you know, mucus that comes out of the body is actually in your colon. It starts in your colon. It's some type of colonic congestion. All mucus is related to a colon congestion issue. And sometimes colon congestion issue is also connected to liver congestion. And then the next progression of that is that the large intestine meridian is paired with, who knows, Mary or Adina, what is the large, sorry, I almost said it, the lung, yeah, the large intestine meridian is paired with what?
So the ileocecal valve in reflexology is one, anytime there's any mucus whatsoever involved, we work that ileocecal valve for the mucus.
Okay, that's a little bit of an aside, which is good, but I was just going to say that the large intestine meridian, where this congestion might be, is connected to the lungs. So lungs and large intestine, those would be two meridians you want to work on, but certainly the digestion is related to this crackling. And of course, removing, and you may have already done this, but removing any dairy, any milk, any cheese is crucial to helping to maintain the health of the lungs for this reason, because it affects the large intestine, because it tends to breed a lot of mucus and it just tends to cause stagnation. So do you eat a pretty clean diet as you are now?
No, I think it's gone to pot the last few months with all the stuff that's been going on.
Okay, so
It's just
dairy
a
in
matter of not
particular,
even wanting to eat. I've lost
Yeah.
probably 10
of
pounds.
course. Well, of course, yeah.
Ariel,
Yes.
I love usually what I do when I have a person with so much like congestions and infection. I like to use castor oil, and I
That's the other thing I was going to mention.
castor oil, and I like to make my own mullein. I don't know if I pronounce it right, mullein oil.
Yeah, let's
Nettle
slow down.
oil.
Let's slow down and talk about it. So I was going to recommend, so do you recommend it as a castor oil application or actually internally taking castor oil?
Depending. What I do, I start from the outside. What I do is like I mix the mullein and I mix the nettle oil with the castor oil and with warm pad and the hot pillows. I don't know, the hot pad. I think so it's calling too. I put it on, I like to put it on the long, or I tell the person put it on the long and the front and the back. And then I can make capsules, okay? And I give it to them to drink it like that, okay? To start working from inside and to outside. But usually when you start using from, put it on your skin and you leave it and you try it at least for 21 days, you feel the difference. And you throw and you take so many, we call them burundangas in Puerto Rico. You take all that, but when you drink it too, or you can make a tincture of mullein and nettle together, and because you're another part of the out of California, Goldenseal. This is a wonderful combination because it's a good antibiotic and it's working with the flame. It's taking, the nettle is like a plant that break concrete. And this is gonna take everything. It's gonna clean. It's gonna clear, even cleaning your urinary tract.
Wait, Adina, slow down a little bit. Are you saying nettles or are you saying Goldenseal? It does that.
A Goldenseal is the best antibiotic for me. I don't like to use any other thing.
Let me just mention something about that, because Goldenseal was, because it became so popular, it got very, very over harvested and it drove up the price significantly. And especially if there are cases when you cannot get Goldenseal, another wonderful substitute or allied herb is Oregon grapefruit. and they both have the active constituent, which is the berberine.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell. Here in California, we use that one, the Oregon grape, because it's more for our side. But from other people outside is the Goldenseal. And what I do, I make a tincture. I put an ounce of everything. I mix all three. Like I used to have chronic sinus and I always was congested and oh my God, horrible. And that helped me to clear. But
wonderful.
I do it with patients that need it for the lungs, for the stomach. Oh, it's amazing with the castor oil, and you feel totally new.
With the castor oil, you can take the castor oil. You can order castor oil from any website, even Amazon. Start with a small bottle and get a nice cotton flannel or wool flannel that you can. There are manufacturers who make this. And then you get a glass Pyrex dish and you really saturate that flannel with the castor oil. And just be careful because it does stain. And you can take this and once it's wrung out, not so much oil, go ahead and put it over both of the lungs and then put a hot water bottle over that and a towel over that and allow it to saturate into the lungs, the skin through the lungs. For about 30 minutes every night. And Adina's saying 21 days, which would be fantastic. And then what happens is the castor oil has been called the Palma di Christi, the oil of Christ. Like it has some type of magical power. Apparently it goes into the skin and powerfully stimulates and moves the lymphatics. So it's a very unique type of oil that is creating sort of a movement and releasing stagnation. And if somebody were willing to do it for you, you could also sort of towel off and lie on your stomach and apply the castor oil to the back, because of course the lungs go from front all the way to the back, all the way from the top right here, right near the clavicle, all the way down to the last rib. Now, with the mullein cloth and so forth, just tell us a little bit about your variation on the theme of a castor oil application, Adina.
I mix them. What I do, I make it with olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. I make them together.
Mhm.
And then at the end, I add the last week, I add the castor oil and
Mhm.
let them macerate the last week together.
Mhm.
And what I do, because it's already mixed, I usually get a, I call it the Santa Claus fabric, the material, the fabric material.
Mhm.
I cannot remember the word. I call it the Santa Claus fabric.
That's okay. That's okay.
I make like a shirt to the person. Okay.
Okay.
And what I do, if after I make it, I get a plastic bag, like those one, the heavy one for black ones. That way it doesn't stain too much outside. And I cover like all the outside, like I make and I put the plastic and then I sew it. And I put
Geez, you
it.
should sell these on one Etsy or something. That's
I have to
amazing.
make one. When I make it, I take pictures and I will send it to you.
Yes,
Why?
please
Because
do.
that
Do you
way,
use muslin? Is that what it is? You use muslin?
no. It's
The flannelette sheets.
yeah, it's the one that you use on Christmas. I always
Oh,
forget
flannel.
Flannelette sheets. Yeah.
And what I do when it's done, I put I have a brush and I go and put it on so it's kind of not completely soft, like really, really wet with the oil. I let the fabric, and then when I put those hot pot in there around for 30 minutes. But it's
Wow.
I always put a blanket in the bottom with another plastic bag just in case. But the person receive and the body absorb. But I mix all together. And then I tell them, do not take a bath. I always says, clear with a hot towel and let it go. Put a shirt that doesn't, you do not matter if it gets stained or not, but let your body to stay overnight with that oil
Mhm.
in your body. And it's amazingly. And even for people who spray their ankle, is being, we are karate teachers here in California, in Puerto Rico. And I had some of the students that they hurt their, in tournaments, they hit their arms or their ankles. And I use the same technique. And it's so good for the inflammation that work perfectly.
Those are great suggestions. No, absolutely love it. Adina, thank you so much. That's really great. So castor oil pack, constitutional hydrotherapy. Madeline, have you ever utilized a castor oil?
Yeah, I was doing, actually, it's since I moved up here 6 years ago, I have not, but I did have flannelette, and I used a heating pad, and I did it over the liver.
Great.
Gallbladder. So
yeah,
I
but you
used
can
to
do it.
that.
You can also do, yeah, liver is good to alternate. Like if you get back into it, if you can, alternating even one day the lungs, or even if you just do the front and then the next day the liver, because they're all really connected. As you detoxify your body, the lungs inevitably are going to clear up. Yeah.
I used to get colonics, but they're frightfully expensive here. They're about $100.
Well, don't make it too fancy. You know, another one of my naturopathic mentors, they had this, they called it the 44 capsules. And it was like, even if you were going to get a cold, you felt a cold coming on, they would give you these capsules. It was the traditional that did the constitutional hydrotherapy as well. And these capsules were a combination of aloe and wormwood. And they would have you, the minute that you felt the cold coming on, you would take it. Now, aloe and wormwood is something that anybody could get their hands on. But the reason that they did that is because they knew that by flushing out, it's a bit of a purgative, a bit of a laxative, by flushing out your digestive system, it probably could stop the cold from coming on. So that's another little secret about it that could be really helpful. But I know you're going to be traveling, but maybe if you can make the, really a concerted effort to really, I'm going to clean up the diet, I'm going to do more of just a detox, maybe for like a 2 or 3 month detox to really get your digestion back on, maybe a little bit of castor oil pack, something like that. I just want to look at some of the affirmations that came up for you. And one of them is, I now find the courage. Another one is, life is supporting me on every level. I am being guided towards the best time of my life. What do you think about that?
Sounds pretty amazing.
All the parts of my being on this plane and others line up now for my greatest happiness, freedom, and success. Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to see if I can screenshot this and maybe we can bring it over and do a neuro remedy on it. Mary, tell us a little bit about bentonite clay, and is that something that you've done for yourself?
Yes, it is something I've done for myself and my clients, especially when we're trying to detox. And one of the easiest ways we've found, if they can't use it on their abdomen or the bottom of their feet, especially with you traveling, Madeline, is in reflexology, face reflexology, your forehead represents your intestines. Okay, so you can put that on the bentonite clay as a mask, and not only helps your skin help to be more radiant, but it helps to pull the toxins from your intestines, especially when you have those intentions. And also, for the grief, I mean, you're working on the other stuff, but to be working on that emotional aspect of the lungs, to use I learned in naturopathic school. Dr. Paul talks about using oranges and pineapple. So pineapple has bromelain in it.
Mm-hmm.
See, it reduces inflammation and reduces soreness in muscles. Your lung is a muscle. It's sore when it's crackling and has a whole lot of emotions going on, and maybe even some biofilm from all the times that you've had the pneumonia. So not only will it help your lungs to have the pineapple, but to have the pineapple and the oranges together up to 3 times a day, like morning, noon, and night, significantly works on depression.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you're getting the healthy fruits, you're getting, the bromelain in the pineapple and the vitamin C to help the immune system as well. So there's
you got the whole thing covered there, Mary.
Yeah.
And it's good
I
for
have
digestion too.
used the bentonite clay with psyllium in the past to push things through. Back to the normal things I should be doing. Thank you for the reminders.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun. It's always fun just to hear people's different perspective about their recommendations. And of course, you can just pick what you like and, leave the rest, kind of a thing. Now, when are you actually heading out on the road?
On the 22nd. I'm only moving a couple of hours away.
Okay, where are you moving to?
A place on the west coast of Vancouver Island called Port Alberni.
And what's taking you over there?
Well, my daughter and my grandchildren, they have 25 acres, and we'd like to put up some dome homes. And
oh, that's what you mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, just exciting.
And that's something to look forward to.
It sure is, yeah. I actually went and visited at Salt Spring Island, one of the plants that makes these dome homes, and the energies are amazing. It's all on Bucky, Fullminster, whatever his name is.
Yes, and you being out there in nature is really going to help you.
Yeah, getting away from Wi-Fi and all that.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds fabulous. I mean, it does really sound like you're on to a new adventure, and it may be it says, life is supporting me and helping me on every level. I'm being guided towards the best time of your life. I mean, it couldn't be more spot on. It sounds like it could be something so wonderful to start a new beginning for you. So we're going to go to the neuro remedy, and we're going to, now, can you see the affirmations that are on the screen here?
Is this recorded, Ariel?
Yes.
So that I can go back and write notes and make it larger?
Yes. Yes. It's streaming now to YouTube, so you can just watch it immediately on YouTube afterwards.
And Madeline, once she posts it, I always put the latest one on the homepage of my website.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ariel.
Smile, girl.
Okay, so now, but you can see them now? Or no, are you able to see them?
All the parts of my being on this place. I can see it and squinting.
All right. Okay, because we're going to ask you to read them out loud. We'll just do one time to make it easier.
I'm just going to grab my glasses.
Yeah, glasses.
She's going to get her glasses. Okay. All right. So both of you have given such wonderful recommendations to Madeline. I think she's going to have a lot to do when she gets settled in her new place, in her new digs. It'll be exciting. Okay, you ready?
I now find the courage.
Wait. You have to wait for me to start the recording. So we're creating a neuro remedy for you. All right. I'm going to start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
I now find the courage. Life is supporting me and helping me on every level. I am being guided toward the best time of my life. All the parts of my being on this plane and others line up now for my greatest happiness, freedom, and success.
That sounds amazing. How did you feel reading them?
Good.
Excellent. So we're going to create it into a neuro remedy, and we can even send it to your Quanta capsule. Madeline, do you have an activated Quanta capsule?
No, it's purely, I just live on my pension. So it's like one baby step at a time. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Did you I guess you got the starter. You got the starter package when you started.
I
No
got the
worries at
middle
all.
one, whichever the middle one was.
The middle one. Well, the middle one comes with a Quanta capsule.
Oh, really? See?
It's probably sitting in your Quanta membership right now and you didn't know about it. I'll shoot you an email.
Yeah, I need help that way. I do deal with a really significant brain injury. So short-term memory sometimes goes out the window as far as even doing.
Okay, but the good news is that you have it. Woohoo! Whoop-de-doo! Like you're able to use it. So that's exciting.
Okay.
All right, Madeline, thank you so much for being part of our class today. It was a privilege and an absolute honor to work on you.
The honor and privilege are mine. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you all.
Lots of love to all of you. And thank you to everyone who's been sending frequencies Madeline's way. You'll have to update us maybe by email and let us know if you felt something over the next 24 hours as a result of everybody, pitching in and sending you those frequencies. So do catch us up and let us know.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Other sort of final thoughts? Anything else that you ladies would like to add about the case?
In my case, she's gonna move to the nature.
Yeah.
She can have the opportunity, and I do this. Sometimes people think I'm crazy, but I like to go and take my shoes and walk. And when my father passed away, it was kind of hard for me, to let go. And I like to sing, remember him, and just thanks God, like get the vibration from the earth and let go and open my arm and just enjoy and says, Mother Nature, take this, and whatever comes to my head, I thanks. You see, but I'm walking, barefoot and just move and enjoy and getting the sun. That is going to help us. Remember, the best vitamin D is the sun. And, I know it's cold, could be cold in that area, but if she can get the best time that she can enjoy that, it's going to be good for her because she will be able to breathe, and she's going to be able to move and just do crazy things, dance and do movement to able to open and expand and let go what needs
I think that's awesome. Well, I love that you said about just getting grounded, taking your shoes and socks off. And of course, right on the main part of your foot is right underneath your foot is kidney number 1, which is a very significant point on the kidney meridian. And as you step on the earth, you're taking in all of the wonderful, the negative ions and so forth from the earth. And that's very, very healing. And of course, helps to ground you. And it's interesting about her lungs because there's so much more chi and oxygen in the place that she's going to. And so her lungs have a much better chance of being revitalized and healed in that type of an environment. So it's a great observation. She really seems like she's being guided and led to do this move.
Amen. Amen.
Mary, or any thoughts?
Yes, I totally agree. About, I was going to say her being in that nature is bringing her to a place of healing, that she's able to get out there, improve her immune system. When her immune system is improved by being out there in nature, she can think a lot clearer, and then she can go to that self-care, and everything falls into place from there, versus being in that chaos. And, you're able, Madeline, to move from that energy, part of that energy and grief. I would suggest to you to honor your son, but to allow that part of the hurt to stay. Well, we want to transmute it. We don't want to leave it in the old place for someone else to move in with it, but to just allow yourself to let go of that and look forward to that move as a new beginning to begin to heal from that grief.
Yeah, that's beautiful. She really signed up for quite a transformative life this time around, huh?
Yes. Yes.
And really must be a very strong person to be able to weather the storm of the different challenges that God or spirit has presented to her.
Exactly.
Well, we're getting to the end here of our Miracles Hour. So what we do every week here is we work on a case. So if you know someone or you would like to be worked on, then you can volunteer anytime, and we all send you frequencies. It's a love fest of sorts where we're all sending you this positive energy, and we're all working at our geniuses, and it helps everybody who's doing it learn something as they actually do it in motion in real time, and also learn something about medicine and herbs and things like that. So we invite you to join us any Miracles Hour. You can come back as many times as you like. Invite other people. We also live stream it, so you can catch it on YouTube in real time or after the fact. And today at 4:00, you can join our frequency and energy podcast. And Mary, tornadoes permitting, I'm hoping that we're going to be able to have you today as our guest.
Yes, you are. Nothing's stopping me.
Amen on that.
We're just going to be grateful that I'm there and we're having the podcast and we're all good.
We're in okay, so it's 4 p.m. Pacific time today and 6 p.m. Central, which is the time zone that Mary is in. And in order to join that, we have a really easy link. It's also live streamed on the same YouTube channel, which is biofeedbacksuccess.com/podcast. So easy to remember, biofeedbacksuccess.com/podcast. And then it's really easy. You'll have the Zoom link. You can register for that. And we're going to hear all about, Mary's backstory and how she came to be a healer and the different challenges that she faces and how she's been overcoming them. Ladies, I want to turn your attention to this final aura, and I want you to all comment maybe on the progression. We're going to look at it. This reminds me of that reset aura that I've talked about from time to time, where the person gains a new awareness and it's like they're just sort of resetting everything. And that may be where she's at, just sort of putting the past behind her, not quite onto her new adventure yet, but really just resetting. That's what all the sort of the blanking out of the colors reminds me of. Let's look at all of the different photos that we started with for her. And this was the second one. Any thoughts about this one? This was the second one kind of that we did. And there's actually a third one that looks like this. And this was the final one. Do you ladies have any thoughts about these aura pictures?
You know, the final one, with all of the information she's received on different ways that she can help herself to heal and all the different aspects of what we all shared with her, it looks like it's just processing. So
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Maybe we'll take her a little time, and so happy that we can send her the recording, because we'll be able to go over and over and expand. Sometimes too much at the same time, you cannot cope it, or, you know, like, oh my God, I have a lot of stuff in my head and now, you know, but if she keep listening and viewing and practice it at the same time, this is going to help her. Because remember, it's like peeling an onion. We're going to peel an onion. We're going to work layer by layer. And when we do that, it's going to help her to be more and get out and expand and breathe better and feel better.
I love it. Mary, any final thoughts?
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I see the different changes in your photo. Like that first one was just everybody just, you know, it was almost as if her aura showed what we were all sending to her.
Exactly.
That pure unconditional love, our heart pouring out to her. You know,
that's
because
great. Yeah.
look at how beautiful it is.
And how she trusts us.
As she went on, she's like, okay, the red around the root chakra there, she's hearing information that's going to help her be more stable.
That's very nice. Yeah, that's very nice. And the digestive system, I think, healing as well with all of that really bright yellow coming in.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Adina, you were so kind, and it was lovely to have you. I'd like to invite you back for next week if you feel that you have the time and you'd like to join us on this panel here. We'd love to have you.
We're the Three Musketeers.
I think so. It was a great chemistry, energy combination. All of you contribute so wonderfully to help Madeline, and I'm glad that she volunteered so we could send her some energy today. Okay, well, have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you back here at 4 o'clock where Mary will be joining us for the podcast. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Blessings.
Gracias.
Bless everyone.